Salud, Tommy.
No more shines, Billy.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Hello and welcome to the Corona Cinema podcast with me, your host Leon Wayne, and I'm joined by two people this week, and those two people are May.
Good morning.
And it's Ross.
Good morrow.
No Mason this week for reasons unknown, but what I will do is make the head-to-head section far more easier, far more acceptable in terms of, because there'll be a deciding vote each time. So yeah, maybe we have to look into just doing this format all the time. Maybe we have to vote someone away. I don't know. Ross, what do you think? Like, it'll be make it a lot more convenient.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it hasn't been too much of an issue so far, but maybe we should do a random name like spinner, and then if it lands on, can fuck off for the week.
Yeah, it'd make a lot of sense, wouldn't it, mate?
Yeah, it would. Sorry, I couldn't find my unmute button then.
He agrees passionately. Yeah. What do we want to talk about in this little section? Usually I have something on my mind, but right now there's nothing. Matt, is there anything on your mind that's like you're desperate to get to put out into this podcast world that, I don't know, could be movie related, could not be, I don't know.
I wouldn't say desperate, but the Marvel What If series that came out probably last week. Maybe another one tomorrow, I think. They're looking really good for what they can achieve in like 30 minutes. Is really mad because they don't have to do so much laying the foundation, because you already know how all the stories go. So they just change one little thing and then just show you how it's different. And I think it's really impressive. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope there's loads of them. Because I like it better in cartoon as well. And it's a good mix of like actual actors' voices and then just other people to like mimic them, I think.
Yeah, I feel like that's a really good idea. There's so many different ways like Disney Disney owns so much now. There's so many different ways they can go in terms of what content they produce. And this is actually quite a fun, interesting idea. I feel like, oh yeah, what if this and what if that? Ross, have you seen? There's only one episode in it. I haven't seen it yet. Have you been watching it, Ross?
No, I haven't. I haven't finished Loki yet, but it's kind of stressing me out because Hawkeye is about to come out as well, and there's kind of series after series, and I feel like I have to watch it every week. And now I haven't watched Loki for a few weeks. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, I'm behind already. And I feel like it's gonna go on forever. Just movies and series coming out, and it will never stop. And I'll always, if I go behind by like 1 week, I'll just fuck myself. So I'm gonna watch the rest of Loki in bulk, maybe, and then I'll watch What If and try and keep up with that. Because then Shang-Chi's coming out in like a few weeks as well.
Hopefully, climate change or the Taliban will just come and end it all, so we don't have the stress of having to keep up with content in the world. I find with TV series, once you miss, whenever I like watch a TV series, and then if I don't come back to an episode for like a few weeks, it's like I'll never come back to it. It's like with Lost. I got to like season 5, and it dips a bit, and then I didn't watch an episode for like 3 weeks, and it's like, oh, so what was happening in there? And then you just end up never going back to it. So yeah, that's the challenge. You can keep this bit short, could just move on to the head-to-head real quick.
Yeah, why not?
Save everyone's time. So on a busy Tuesday, just free guys on a Tuesday, just podcasting. So yeah, head-to-head. Okay, it's the head-to-head section of the Corona Cinema podcast. And this week, in celebration of Free Guy being released in all good available cinemas worldwide, maybe it's worldwide, I guess it's worldwide, we're doing some video game movies. Wreck-It Ralph and Ready Player One, and we'll start with Wreck-It Ralph. A video game villain wants to be a hero and sets out to fulfill his dream, but his quest brings havoc to the whole arcade where he lives. That's a nice synopsis, I think. Gets a lot of beats in there. But yeah, Wreck-It Ralph, been out since 2012. I think we've probably all seen it. Probably all seen it multiple times. I guess I've seen it maybe like 4, 5 times, maybe. It's one of the better recent Disney films. I think Disney animation. Yeah, Ross, Wreck-It Ralph. First impressions.
I think the thing about this film compared to like Ready Player One and Free Guy this week is it's a lot more kind of small scale, because the other ones are in this like big world, but this one's just like the arcades players together, and I think it kind of gives more like of a relationship between Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope, and it's more about that rather than the game itself. This one, so it's a lot more kind of like intimate, and I quite like that because yeah, it's kind of like classic Disney the way they do the stories, and in terms of like a relationship kind of way, but it's put on it with this spin on it with like classic gaming characters, and obviously Ralph and Penelope are like new ones mixed into that world. So yeah, it's really creative the way they've done that. A really good idea to kind of, I suppose it's similar to Inside Out, kind of like living things, but it's obviously in the arcades and all the players come to life, and it's quite a creative little story that they've made quite cute story out of.
Yeah, I agree. It's like it does feel more quieter than the other films. Ready Player One is like really in your face, obviously with all like the pop culture references and stuff, which we'll talk about. Yeah, May, Wreck-It Ralph, you a fan?
Big fan actually. It doesn't feel as forced as a lot of other premises that Disney have. Like Inside Out is like, it feels like a bit of a stretch that you've got like 5 little people inside your head controlling you, and the same with like most Disney films feel like, yeah, okay, obviously it's not real, but like with Wreck-It Ralph, I don't know, because it just feels like, yeah, that could work. And I like how like there's the train station in the like the plug extension, the thing with all the little outlet sockets, and all the wires go here, and this is how you get your train to, and then you can go to all the different other games. Like I like that. It just seems to work well, and like no one knows how bloody like games work on the inside. No one knows how to program a circuit board, so it's could be it. So like, it just feels like it feels nice because it doesn't really go contrary to anything. No, excuse me. And yeah, I kind of like. I don't know. I just like the way the story plays out. It just works. It works well, and it's not like the end of everything. It's just one game gets shut down. You know, like a lot of films, like a revolution or the change, like huge, great change. This one kind of just gets him to appreciate what he has to start off with, and then just make some little changes. So it's not like a huge revolution. It's just kind of like the way people perceive their own kind of situations, and there's like small changes and things carry on. So it works quite nicely.
Yeah, I think that world building part is my favorite thing of the film. Like, yeah, with all the like, yeah, the central station or whatever for the plugs, and traveling across the different games, and like having the bad guy support group at the start. You have his like opening like monologue when he's talking about his situation, and then it's revealed to be, yeah, he's talking to other bad guys in this group. Yeah, I thought it was a really fun idea. And then having like Tapper's bar as well, another little cool thing they get in there. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Wreck-It Ralph. Let's move on to Ready Player One. When the creator of a virtual reality called the Oasis dies, he makes a posthumous challenge to all Oasis users to find his Easter egg, which will give the finder his fortune and control of his world. Ready Player One. I think that came out 2018. I remember watching that a couple times in the cinema. Go you first, May. Ready Player One.
I actually quite like it because like I think VR was something that no one really properly like explored in this level of like a high production film, and done it like this seamlessly. So it was really nice. It got a bit weird in certain places when people had to pay off debts in the game, you know, and they had to then like do mining or whatever for Ben Mendelsohn, and it was almost like they became slaves inside the game, which is it just became a very weird premise, you know, because I feel like I don't like why a company would put that much stead in the game, like why they would want that. And then I don't know, it just felt a bit like totalitarian. And I know that's the point at the end, and they have to then overthrow it. But it's all a bit deep for a video game, you know. And I guess it's like a big fat Black Mirror episode. Like this is where it can go. But as a film, I really liked it, and the pop culture references, I like that a lot because there's just lots of stuff hidden deep inside. And it's a good premise as well for like the whole world, the whole game. There's just clues hidden in there. And Leon, you love premises, so I'm sure it's a big win for you.
I'm like kind of mixed on this film. It's like bottom tier Spielberg, but it's still Spielberg. So it's still like a lot of fun just being in this world that he creates. And obviously this is like Spielberg, this I think BFG, which I haven't seen, is like him using like a lot more digital effects. And obviously there's very like a whole digitally created world. And that and the pop culture references are a lot of fun. It's not necessarily like a sharp story. I don't think it's like a great story going on in the film, but it's just a fun ride, a good adventure. I don't watch that many adventure films really, but I kind of like that as a genre. Just being like, oh, here's a big goal that we've got to reach by the end of the film. We're going to go on these wild journeys and stuff on that way. So yeah, it's we'll talk about more in the categories, but yeah, it's an interesting one. I know it's weird because a lot of people hate this film. I hate this film and hate this book just for it just being like quite like tacky and stuff. I don't like hate it. Like a lot of people, like, you see people on Twitter like they just absolutely revile it, which I think is a bit weird. Like just chill. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Ross, what do you think of Ready Player One?
I actually really liked it because I think this film's like it's like a nerd's dream, isn't it? With all the pop culture references and like being in a video game and stuff. Like it's like I like what you said, Matty, about being like a big Black Mirror episode. But it's like they've gone in because it's set like 10 years into the future, whatever, 25 years into the future, something like that. And it's like the world has kind of developed so much. The fact that everyone just plays this video game now, and that's like everyone's life now. And it's it has come to the fact that people pay debts and stuff, and they're just part of this game is just like their life now. And that's what it is. And I like the idea of that, and kind of I think the fact that like the video game creator just kind of put eggs out there so whoever wins them can own the game. I'm not sure about that kind of premise, but I think the story plays out well enough for that to be okay. So yeah, I quite liked it.
I kind of like that as a premise. Like it's like Willy Wonka, isn't it? It's like, yeah, you complete my challenge, and then you get to inherit this massive fortune and my business. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one now as we do the categories. Obviously, it's performances. We haven't done an animated film. Obviously, Wreck-It Ralph is completely animated. Ready Player One is mostly animated. I think probably like 70%. There's all the digital CGI stuff going on. So it's hard. It's more, I guess, it's more vocal voice performances going on here, at least in Wreck-It Ralph. And then Ready Player One, you get a bit of acting going on. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a sticky one to try pick a winner here. But Matty, performances, is the vocal work in Wreck-It Ralph just going to overpower everything that's going on in Ready Player One, or just the mere fact that there's humans doing stuff in Ready Player One it does get the win?
I was just looking at the cast now, and you know K2 from Rogue One, the big robot. He's King Candy. Yeah. He's King Candy. And that just blows my mind. It's just so funny.
Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
That's quite funny.
He's also Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball.
And he's in Ragnarok, in like he's in that. I think he plays Loki, or does he play? I think he plays Thor. You know that in Ragnarok when they have the performance when Matt Damon is Loki.
I think
Matt
Damon plays
Loki. I can't remember who he plays. He plays Loki. Yeah.
I don't know, because I think where in Wreck-It Ralph they're looking at more like cartoonistic characters. Like Mindy's in it as well.
Yeah.
They're looking at more like cartoonish characters that can't be overdone. So like Fix It Felix is really good. And then the Call of Duty Sergeant, she's really good. And then obviously, well, they all play their role perfectly. And that's like where the casting is always so good in a Disney film. But then Wreck-It Ralph not Wreck-It Ralph, Ready Player One kind of balances other stuff. Like Ben Mendelsohn always plays that villain really well. And TJ Miller, I love him as like, you know, the gamer they contract who's like got a really high score to like basically take out what's his name? Wade. I like him because it's just a funny character to play. Someone who's just in it for the money, but he's also a gamer, and he's got this massive facade, but he's also like got this like neck pain that's like really like he's just an idiot basically. But I don't think there's enough strong performances in Ready Player One to outplay, because Wreck-It Ralph's just like seamless, like nothing is amiss in Wreck-It Ralph. And then Ready Player One, there's a lot of just average performances, I think. Kind of like the squad that they have. It was like, you know, all them like the two kids. Yeah, I don't even know who they are. It just wasn't very memorable. And they could have done more with that, I think. It was just very generic and like okay, you know. And like scrolling through the cast list now, I don't even recognize half these people. I don't even know like Shuri's in it. Like when I don't remember any of this. Yeah, so I'd probably give it to Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, the voice performances in Wreck-It Ralph are actually really memorable. There's like several that are like really, really good. Like, yeah, Fixie Felix, King Candy, obviously Ralph, Vanellope. Are they all very distinct and very well done? So I've cut, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's almost iconic, the quality of the vocal performances going on in Wreck-It Ralph. And Ready Player One, I think it suffers from the characters just not being very well developed because the movie's not really interested in that. So it's hard for anyone to shine, really. So yeah, and I don't like the one guy who's really given a proper performance is Mark Rylance as Halliday. Like he's the one you'd remember because it's very quirky and offbeat, and I don't really like what he's doing, to be honest. It's a bit weird they got him to do that. He's like a proper like respected Oscar-winning actor. He's just doing a lot of weird stuff in that film. So I think I'm probably leaning towards Wreck-It Ralph as well, just for the how memorable several vocal performances are in that film. Ross, where are you leaning?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Wreck-It Ralph, but I do like I don't know that TJ Miller and it's quite good, and like Ben Mendelsohn's quite good like villain in the film, I guess. But I think yeah, just the voice performances in Wreck-It Ralph are so good, especially you know John C. Reilly and like Sarah Silverman as the mains. They do bring like the emotion to the characters. And I know Sarah Silverman is like putting on like an annoying voice, and it's quite annoying. But then like it's meant to be like that. She's meant to be an annoying little girl, and John C. Reilly has this like deep, like it's quite a funny voice. It's like it is a kind of comedic voice, but these characters just kind of are put in well to do what they do, and it's meant to be kind of over the top the way they're talking and stuff because they're video game characters, but it works well. But at the same time, it's not too over the top to kind of take away from the story, the performance, whatever. So yeah, I like that, and I think yeah, everyone does a good job. You know, King Candy's really good. Fix It Felix is really good. There's nowhere where you kind of think, oh, I don't like that. So yeah, I like it.
And you got Gene. Gene, what a cunt that guy is. When he's just criticizing Ralph for every opportunity. All he wants to do is just hang out, and Gene's just being a dick all the time. Like when that bit with the cake, when Ralph wants to put himself on top of the cake with the rest of the people, and Gene's like, no, you're just the guy who wrecks the building. Yeah, Gene, what cunt.
He's a dick.
Yeah, fucking Gene. Okay, so Wreck-It Ralph performances. It's the first winner in the animated battle. Story, I'm also very much in Wreck-It Ralph's side here. I think it's really effective, like their friendship in this film. That's like the biggest thing. Is how they're able to kind of empathize with each other as like both people who like shunned by all the guys around them within their game, kind of isolated. It's like a strong message of like acceptance and like embracing your differences with like her glitch. It's like because the glitch can like represent anything that you want to. It could be like a disability, or it could be like, I don't know, your sexuality or something. It's like, oh no, it's just what makes you special and what makes you unique, and that's something to be embraced. Like, because yeah, by the end it's like, oh, she's using the glitch to be like a different kind of racer. It's not like, oh, we have to fix the glitch. that's how we resolve the story. It's like, I know the glitch remains, and now people who are playing the arcade game and enjoy using that character because of that glitch. So yeah, thought that was it's all really good stuff in Wreck-It Ralph. What's what do you think? What do you think to story? You like the story in a Ready Player One? For me, it's not really about the story. It's kind of like the adventure you go on and all the digital effects. Is there anything that resonated more for you in Ready Player One?
Not particularly. I think neither of them have. No, well, Ready Player One doesn't have like a bad story. It's just I think it's just kind of has like a premise, getting the keys, and then they kind of do the world building around it and the battle between the characters, and then they can throw in as a pop culture references and stuff. So, and then Wreck-It Ralph, I think it's because it's so much smaller scale and more intimate with the characters. It kind of the story allows kind of as I say, like a more intimate kind of viewing for the audience. You got kind of Vanellope and Ralph trying to fix Vanellope, trying to get the game like sorted pretty much, and it's not much more to it than that. But yeah, as I say, that's a more intimate viewing because you're watching this relationship develop between the two characters, and it's a more like soothing, enjoyable watch. Whereas Ready Player One is just like it's just like action and just kind of looking out for pop culture references, and like they go into the Shining World, you're like fuck, like all that kind of stuff, and it's more like exciting. Whereas Wreck-It Ralph's more kind of, I don't really know how to expect, just like more of like a nice. It's like going on a log flume ride. It's kind of nice. So yeah, I'll lean towards Wreck-It Ralph for that one.
Yeah, I do like the log flume. Yeah, don't mind getting wet. Yeah, if it was in May, he was saying like, you didn't really like the kind of this company being so invested in the game and trying to win the eggs. Like, I actually kind of like that, even though it's like like over the top. But I don't know, it's just funny just having this like evil corporation attempting to claim the game for themselves. Like they're the number 2 company in the world, and they want to win this prize to be the number 1. And you got like the stuff is he the CEO? Sorrento? I'm not sure if that's his role. It's something like that. He's in charge. And like him making like going into the game, into the actual world of the game to make these dodgy deals with TJ Miller's character. So I thought that I kind of like that. Yeah, it's over the top. But yeah, I kind of like that. May, where are you going with a story for this one?
I just mean with like, yeah, it's nice for a film, but it's just like for a company to be so blatantly, not even like cheating, because it's not cheating, but just like hire loads and loads of people to try and win this one thing that is essentially meant as just a game for like not children, but like essentially games of like almost kids. And it's just like this game has become so important to like companies and adults and people. Like even at the start, you see people like gambling like the like life savings on the game, and then they just lose it all in the game, and then their wife beats them up afterwards. Like it works well as a film, but it's also just at the end when the people get so invested in it, it's just like it's a bit cringy. And I think as a story, I'd probably just go with Wreck-It Ralph because it's just simpler. I think it just feels smoother and better than Ready Player One. I don't know why. I don't know. It's hard to put my finger on it why Ready Player One doesn't really. I think as it gets to the end, and it's almost like a Harry Potter and Dumbledore scene, you know, when spoilers, when Harry Potter dies and he goes to see Dumbledore, who's also dead, and they talk for a bit. Even though it's in the game, it's just weird that like he's getting like advice from like this computer image of, and that's how he kind of decides what to do. And also like big acts of charity in film is always just looks a bit wet, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just gonna side with Wreck-It Ralph.
I can put my finger on it. I think for me, it's just character-wise, just kind of empty in a Ready Player One. I just don't care. I talked about in terms of like performance. I just don't care what's going on with any of those people in Ready Player One. Whereas Wreck-It Ralph, there's 2 really likable main characters, and also you get things like the twist in terms of like, oh, why can't Vanellope race and what's going on there, and then the twist with the villain, and it turns out to be Turbo, and that seems really good. So a lot of all those beats just add up to something a bit more satisfying in Wreck-It Ralph. So Ross, you went Wreck-It Ralph as well, didn't you? So
yeah.
It's It's a clean sweep going on there. Okay. Visual style. Again, a lot of I guess both just comparing the two animation styles. Not much going on in terms of the real world stuff, I guess, in Ready Player One. So it's more of you like the Disney animation going on in Wreck-It Ralph, or the big digital Spielbergian CGI stuff going on in Ready Player One. Ross? What did you find more appealing?
I think for me, Ready Player One, just because, like I say, when they do go into like the Shining World and stuff, you do get this kind of like experience through that, and it's very dark throughout a lot of the film, but I think it's dark but with a lot of like lights and stuff also, and I like that, and I think the way they've just like created this video game that obviously doesn't exist. They've done really well kind of creating a world out of that and building a world out of that, and kind of all the designs for loads of different characters and stuff, and everyone being what they want to be, and all these different like places they go to within the game. I really like that. Obviously, Wreck-It Ralph is also because that's just kind of, they tried to make it just like an arcade game. So like with when you're in Penelope's World, it's all like pink and fluffy and whatnot, and then yeah, it's they're both really good, but yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Ready Player One for this one.
Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like Ready Player One. I think Wreck-It Ralph is kind of a similar vibe to some other Disney properties. With Ready Player One, at times it can be a bit much. I think that's just because that's part of my issue. Is like the runtime. It's kind of it's a long time to be in that world. But I think it does look very cool. Some of the sequences, like the driving race, the race, and things like that in Ready Player One, all looks very cool, and all the different sectors that they've got. And yeah, but I really do like that Shining sequence. I don't know, maybe it's a bit cheap to just take a classic film and just spend time in there and rip off bits from that film for like, I don't know, how long is that scene? Like maybe 10, 15 minutes. Maybe that's a bit cheap, but I just really like it. It's just, you could just do that with any film that I enjoyed from the past, just reimagine it in this weird digital world, and I'd enjoy it. So yeah, Ready Player One. If it was going to get any win here, be for the visuals. Matt, you in the same thinking on that one?
I wasn't, but now you've said it, I think, yeah, Ready Player One, it gets away with not having the best looking CGI in terms of like for the actual characters themselves, in terms of like facial expressions, and because it is meant to be a game, so it's not meant to be the best anyway. But then again, it's meant to be a really super realistic game. And like the end scenes is where it really comes together. Well, yeah, for The Shining as well, but also for like the end like charge, when you have like the Halo Squad and you have like the Iron Giant and all these things like coming together, and like the Mecha Godzilla, like all of that looks really good. And that's where that kind of thrives. And again with that race as well, was it like King Kong as well during that race or something? Yeah, like there's all kinds of stuff going on there, and that's nice because it's like all busy. And Wreck-It Ralph is a lot cleaner. Like everything works together really, really well, and it's like consistent throughout all of Disney's other stuff. So the animation style isn't anything to like get past. It just feels right. But just for like almost originality, you probably have to give it to Ready Player One.
I even like the way he like moves the quote unquote camera within some of those sequences in Ready Player One. I know that he like closes in at some points and then drifts to the side. Like, yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on there from Spielberg. But yeah, so we're all agreed. Ready Player One gets a point for visual style. Tone. What one has the more enjoyable tone? One thing with Ready Player One, it was just very like heavy-handed. The way it's like, oh, this guy, the Halliday, is very pure, uncorrupted trillionaire. He just wants to keep like the spirit of the game he created. But you've got these evil people like Sorrento who just want to commercialize the fuck out of everything. Like, this was adverts everywhere in the screen. I thought that was a bit like, yeah, this wasn't very subtly handled. It's like, oh, okay, we get it. So that was in terms of that part of the tone of going on there, didn't really work for me. Yeah. Wreck-It Ralph's just a nice uplifting adventure about a guy discovering why he's discovering a friend and why he's important in the world. So more enjoyable, I guess. For Ready Player One's got some kind of darker stuff going on, not like anything massively profound, but yeah, kind of darker stuff going on. But yeah, tonally, what do you enjoy more, May?
Definitely Wreck-It Ralph. Just because it feels lighter. But it's more like your own personal struggle, I think. Tonally, there's a lot kind of like going on with Ready Player One, because it's all like this big kind of revolution thing with also like an uprising, but also like self-discovery, but also like you're uncovering some kind of deep secret like through Halliday's life, but you're also like half invested in an almost love story between him and this lady. And doesn't have like a mark on her eye, and she thinks that he'll find her ugly, which is stupid.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
like
like you,
Mortal Engines, that girl.
yeah, exactly. Like they were like, oh, I didn't want to show my face until now because blah blah blah. But now they're part of like a resistance, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like the tone is like, I don't know, she's been thrown for a fan, basically. And then it's all like whatever's come out the other side, they've then put together. So maybe as a book, it worked a lot better when they had a lot more time to even everything out. But Wreck-It Ralph is just so much more together, I think.
Also, the humor in Ready Player One, I never really connected with. I know you guys said you like the TJ Miller guy and the stuff with his neck. I just did it. This is the first time I see it. I just never found that to be that amusing. And like any other times they try to inject some laughs, it just never really works. I think that's kind of an issue. And also about like, yeah, and that doesn't help when like my biggest gripe with the film is just how long it is. It's so long. It's 2 hours, 20 minutes for a film like this. Like any momentum that it built up just kind of evaporated for me by the end. Like there's still an hour left when Artemis gets captured. I'm like, rah, really got to see it for that long. So that kind of affects my whole overview of the film, not necessarily in terms of the tone, but yeah, it makes it harder to contend with the tone it's going for when it's just that long. You have to sit there for that amount of time. But yeah, Ross, what do you think? What do you think to tone? Is Wreck-It Ralph or Ready Player One do it for you?
Well, the thing about Ready Player One, I think, as you said, the runtime is like it's like 2 hours 20 or whatever, so it is really long. But within that, there's so many like tonal shifts because they're in trouble. Oh, now it's like a little love sequence. Oh, they're in trouble again. No, it's gone into real world. Oh, now with Halliday, it's really sweet and like pure, and then back to the real world where it's bad. And then it's a lot of tonal shifts throughout the film. Whereas Wreck-It Ralph just kind of is more consistent in the way it flows and is like they have the same goal throughout. So there aren't too many tonal shifts, and you kind of it does allow you to kind of resonate more with the characters and whatnot. And so I think for tone, definitely Wreck-It Ralph.
There's like one scene in Wreck-It Ralph that I really don't like, and that in terms of the tone, and that's when they play Sharp and Drive when he's teaching how to drive. There's no other like pop songs in the film. It's like, oh yeah, we need to just put a big song like that, and it's really on the nose. So I was like, yeah, she's driving. I didn't like that. I felt like it didn't belong within the film. It's like, oh, we just need to get a pop song in there. That's like one scene that it worked for me. But yeah, overall, I'm also in Wreck-It Ralph. So we all three of us are Wreck-It Ralph, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Final category, the unique one. Trying to think of this yesterday, and what I landed on. We've talked about this in Ready Player One, but the race. You got a race in Ready Player One to get one of the keys, and you've also got a race. Well, you got several races, but with them, oh no, you have the one race at the end. That's the only race you have. That's a really pretty dramatic race in Wreck-It Ralph. But yeah, what race did you enjoy more, Ready Player One or Wreck-It Ralph? Ross.
I think I enjoyed the Ready Player One more, just because I think there are so many just like references dotted throughout that one race, and it's such like Spielberg knows what he's doing when he's making like an action film, and that is just like that one that started is like classic kind of Spielberg action. And I think I watched Space Jam, and it's just like a bad way of flexing like what Warner Brothers owns, whereas this one is a good flex of what Warner Brothers owns, and they do it like really well, I think. And them saying like no one's ever completed the race, and they get to the end, and obviously he helps her, but she's on like the Akira bike and whatnot as well, and it's all the references flying about. but at the same time, there's great action going on. So you're just kind of like watching everywhere. You're hyped up, and I really like that. And then obviously you get to see him go underneath afterwards, and you can see everything that's going on top yet again, but like from like a underground perspective. And I thought that was really cool. But the Wreck-It Ralph one is really good, I think, because of the like kind of more there's more of like a tense nature for Vanellope to win that race. So yeah, it's a close one, but I think I'll go for Ready Player One.
The drawback is you don't get a dramatic conclusion to the race in Wreck-It Ralph. She has to stop because the fucking cyborgs have destroyed the finishing line. So she has to come back and roll over the line later on. But everything before that, I'm gonna go Wreck-It Ralph. Just for that bit with the reveal of King Candy to be Turbo. I just love that. I was saying that to Matt yesterday. I actually found that scary when his like face is flickering and he starts to realize, oh no, it's Turbo. He's even more evil than we thought. So yeah, for that element, I'm gonna give it to Wreck-It Ralph. Matty, which race do you enjoy? You got the deciding vote.
I do really enjoy that shift where he becomes Turbo. That is genuinely frightening. And his voice is very good, even as both characters. But that's not really part of the race, I guess. I'm not sure what it's part of the race, I guess, but it's not like the reason. I don't like the race because of the race. I like it because of that. But like originality as races go, Ready Player One takes it because that thing is just like it's just like a feast for your eyes of just everything that can happen happens, and then also then going through it all again backwards, like underneath it, like within the code of a game. Like no one does that anyway because no other films are games really, let alone have a race or that well made. So Ready Player One takes it.
Ready Player One takes it, but it's not enough. It's just a consolation strike because it loses 3-2 on this week's head-to-head. Good battle. I think overall, Wreck-It Ralph is something I'll watch quite a few more times in my life. Very enjoyable Disney film. Ready Player One is just it's the length. If it was like half an hour shorter, be more appealing to me. But that was it was a tough sit to go through the whole 220. If it was better, definitely better in the cinema because obviously you can enjoy the visuals on a bigger scale. But yeah, still an enjoyable film. And that was an enjoyable head-to-head. Okay, we're back for another game. Hosted by Ross. Oh, I had a tickle there. Yeah, Ross, he brought Tenable to the table last week. It took fucking forever. And I kind of got there with, was it most recent actors to win their second or third Oscars. I think I got like 4 or 5 without any assistance. Then I needed some help to fill in the blanks. But Ross, what have you got for us this week? Matty's here as well to enjoy the fun.
So we'll do Tenable again, but this time we'll do it like they do on the TV show, where if you get 3 wrong answers, you're out.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So you just have to say a guess, and if you get 3 wrong, you're out.
Sweet.
So who wants to go first?
Matty can go first.
Matt, you want to go first?
It's his first time on the show, so he can go first.
Yeah, okay.
I've got many lists. Which one should I do for you?
So what do I do?
So you didn't listen to last week's podcast?
I actually did.
You did.
I listened to it in the car on the way back from Scotland.
So there's this like top 10 lists. So like last week Leon did the top 10 the last 10 actors to win their second or third Oscar. So you're just guessing. So this one I'll do for you. I'll do this one. Lord of the Rings characters by screen time. So that excludes the Hobbit movies.
Okay.
All right. So you get.
How many do I have to get? Do I have to get all 10?
You have to try and get all 10.
Okay. Frodo
is number 1.
Sam.
Samwise Gamgee is number 2.
Gandalf
is number 4.
Fuck. Aragorn.
That is number 3.
Legolas
is number 8.
Oh, close now. Gimli's
number 9.
Okay.
So you need 5, 6, 7, and 10.
It wouldn't be Saruman. It wouldn't be Sauron. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be Boromir. It wouldn't be Elrond. Who else is in it? Loads. So what numbers am I missing?
You need number 5, 6, 7, 10.
So who's in it more? 5, like by screen time. Wouldn't be Galadriel. Wouldn't be Elrond. I'm allowed 3 wrong answers, aren't I?
Yeah.
Oh, Merry.
Merry Brandybuck is number
Yeah.
number 6.
Pippin.
And Pippin is number 5. So you
what
just
do I
need
need?
7 and 10 now.
7. Gollum.
Yeah, Gollum's number 7.
Okay. Don't know why I didn't
I
think
didn't
of
get
that.
that earlier. Right.
That sneeze sounded like Gollum.
Yeah, I live with it. I live with Gollum, didn't I tell you?
Gollum doesn't sneeze.
Gollum doesn't
Scary.
sneeze. How do you know Gollum doesn't sneeze?
So do I need 9 and 10?
No, just 10.
Just 10.
You got Frodo, Samwise, Aragorn, Gandalf, Pippin, Merry, Gollum, Legolas, Gimli. Now you just need number 10. You haven't got any wrong answers yet, though.
I have
No, I haven't.
absolutely no idea.
It's kind of difficult because they're like the main ones. So
So it could be anyone.
it's not going to be anyone that's died.
I don't know.
Okay. It's not Sean Bean, is it? Boromir.
Oh, that's a wrong answer.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I'm
Who's
just
alive?
checking. Just checking. Okay. Is it Liv Tyler?
No. It's another wrong answer. You've only got 1 life left.
Lady Galadriel. I don't know. That's wrong.
Oh, no. You're so close. Theoden.
I thought it might be
Who?
Theoden, but Lord Theoden,
The other king.
King of the
the king.
Rohirrim.
Oh,
Not bad.
you got 9 out of 10, Matty. Pretty good,
That's
though, yeah.
It was playing for my strengths, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. Leon, do you want me to play to your strength or do you want me to challenge you?
In the middle somewhere.
In the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what there is.
The last 10 kings of Norway.
That's easy. Fancy your strengths. What do I have here? Okay. Let's do this then. The top grossing movies in each year of the 1980s. So from 1980 to 1989.
Okay. That's actually hard.
That wasn't in the middle. That was hard.
Is the Terminator's not in there, is it?
No. Tell me. Is that a guess or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Let's
a
get it
wrong
back.
answer.
Right. So this is the decade of the modern action films. This is when it all starts coming. You have a lot of prestige in the 70s and then the 80s. There's a lot of big action stuff. So obviously Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, so 1983 is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. No, it's 1980, isn't it? Return of the Jedi.
Oh, sorry,
1983.
yeah.
Return of the
There you
Jedi is
go,
83.
Sorry, I read it wrong, yeah.
Return of the Jedi
Because
must
I
be
just
one
wrote
as
down
well.
Star Wars. Yeah, so that's 8 and 83.
Do we
them.
have Raiders of the Lost Ark in there?
Yeah, so 1981 Raiders of the Lost Ark.
What's the question?
The top grossing movies of each year of the 80s. So from 1980 to 89.
Have we got Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones?
No, Temple of Doom is incorrect. So that's a wrong answer. So you've only got 1
So
life left.
I could try say the third Indiana Jones film, but if that's wrong, then I'm done. What's anything more obvious going forward?
Can I help?
Yeah, so you can nominate if you want. That's part of the show.
How is it?
Yeah, there's a
Well,
nominate.
I can listen to his suggestion and then decide if I want to use it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, go, mate. What are you thinking?
Did you already say Blade Runner or not?
Nah, that didn't make money. That was
Oh
like
yeah,
a,
it flunked
yeah,
this time around, didn't it?
or made money, but
I'll
yeah, it
give
was
you.
like a notorious bomb.
I'll give you 2 nominates as well.
All right, let me think.
It's the end of my knowledge.
I know Rain Man made a lot of money. I don't think it would have been number one though. 80s like Top Gun.
Yeah, 1986
Yeah.
is Top Gun.
Yeah.
So you need 82, 84, 85, 7 and 8.
82. Well, maybe like no. It wouldn't have been like Predator or anything. I don't think. Is there any other big franchise stuff going on? Isn't like Superman or something? The Batman.
Yeah, Batman 1989.
Yeah.
It's the Michael Keaton one.
Yeah. There's no other superhero things. Maybe a Rocky film. Nah, sure. No, I don't think that would have been biggest film. Mate, have you got any ideas? Fuck. Oh no, that's 1990.
Do you want a clue?
Yeah, go on.
So one of the films has the same director as one of the films we just did this week.
That's one of the films. Oh, E.T.
E.T. Yeah,
Yeah,
1982 is
E.T. fucking destroyed it.
Yes, 1982 is E.T.
Spielberg do anything else? He's obviously got Raiders. Could it be Rain Man? Nah, surely not. I know it's massive and it won Best Picture, but surely that wasn't the number one. It could be because it's Tom Cruise, but surely not. What years have I got to do?
You've got 84, 85, 87, 88.
84, 85, 87, 88. Okay. 84 and 85. There's definitely. Oh, Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, yeah. Number
Yeah.
985 is Back to the Future.
84.
So you got 4, 7, and 8.
84. What's going on in 84? 87. I can't. 87. What came out in 87? You know, I'm just gonna go for it in a second.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Is there any other superhero things? I don't know what years the Superman films came out or anything. I know the first one, but I don't know about the sequels. Lethal Weapon.
No, that's incorrect.
Shame.
You've lost your 3 lives and you're out of it.
Was the
All right,
other
so
answer?
1984 was Who You Gonna Call?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Yeah, it was 1984.
Yeah.
1987 was 3 Men and a Baby.
Really?
Yeah.
That was what the hell? That must have been a slow year.
I did look and not much else actually came out that year. So yeah.
What the hell's going on in 87? What the hell?
What did you think 1988 was then?
Rain
You said
Man?
it.
Rain Man.
Rain Man, yeah.
It was.
It is
Oh,
Rain Man.
Oh my dick, fuck's sake. That's so mad. It's actually mad. There will never be a film like Rain Man nowadays that will be the number one film of the year. Can you imagine
No,
that?
no
A
way.
film about
It's always going to be like a Marvel film or something.
traveling across the country with your autistic brother. That's annoying. I would have never got maybe I would have got Ghostbusters eventually, never 3 Men and a Baby. What the hell?
Yeah. I'll say I did look. Because I was like, what when I saw that? But there's not really much else that year. So
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
okay. You
So
did,
mate,
you did pretty well.
What did I get? I got 7.
You got 7 and Matty got 9.
He cheated anyway, so
His was so much harder than mine. Let's be
It actually was, yeah. If we do it again, I'll do a harder one.
that was good. Okay, so
Nothing.
we've done the game. We're not going to talk Free Guy, but May hasn't seen it because me and Ross are the only cinema connoisseurs over here. So I'm going to say goodbye to May, and we'll see him next time. Bye, May.
I'll just mute you guys.
Staying on. Wow.
You'll get spoiled, May.
No, but I'll mute you guys.
Oh.
I'll hang about.
All right.
Just wave at me when you're done. Yeah.
Okay.
All
I
right.
might get bored and just leave. So we'll see.
All right, go on then.
All right, see you in a bit.
When the meeting end by then, anyway.
Oh yeah, probably in. Yeah,
Yeah, props.
we'll see what happens.
All right,
But yeah, Matty's gonna mute himself. Free Guy. Okay, Free Guy, the new Ryan Reynolds starring vehicle video game bonanza. Here's the trailer.
Good morning, Goldie. My name is Guy, and I live in Free City. I have everything I need. Except one thing. Hey! Excuse me. Hey! Hey, bud, you ever think that there's got to be more?
More than what?
The stuff we do day after day.
Literally not once.
Today's gonna be different, Goldie. What are we looking at?
Who are you?
We ran into each other the other day.
How did you find me?
I waited outside by the murder train.
Guy, I have to tell you something. There is no easy way to say this. This world, it's a video game.
I really want to kiss you. Is that weird?
Listen to me. You're not real.
Wait, you let who kiss you?
Guy.
There's not a button for that.
Oh, he found the button.
Buddy, if we're not real, doesn't that mean that nothing you do matters?
I am sitting here with my best friend trying to help him get through a tough time. Now, if that's not real, I don't know what is.
Millie, I know this world is just a game, but this place, these people, that's all I have.
Thanks, guy.
Who is this guy?
This character in the video game Free City has been turning heads by being the good guy.
Woo! Who is blue shirt guy?
You're absolutely right. Who is he or she, indeed?
This loser is ruining the game, man.
I don't care if he's Arnold freaking Schwarzenegger. Terminate him. We're doing great.
Guy, in 2 days, the game is gonna shut down. You, this whole city, they'll be gone.
What if we can save it? Was that cool? It felt really cool. We can change our world, but we have to fight together. I don't even know what's happening right now, but I love it! Woo! This is the first time I've ever driven a car before.
I really wish you'd mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love you, blue shirt guy!
Thank you! Watch out for them! They seem nice.
Oh, good trailer. Good trailer.
Jesus Christ, I love that trailer. That was so good.
Last episode, I didn't put the trailer in. I just couldn't be. I was editing it really late at night. I just couldn't be asked. It's like, oh, fuck this.
Oh yes, because
I
we
wouldn't-
finished recording like 11 o'clock on Tuesday.
Yeah,
so
and I had to go somewhere on the Wednesday. Yeah, but yeah, we'll do it this time, and that joke will be funny. Free Guy. How do I usually start this conversation? I don't even know, because I don't read the synopsis for some reason, which I probably should do, but we're not going to do it anyway. But I'm just going to say, Free Guy was interesting. Thought it was fun. Thought it was upbeat, good central performance. It's got obviously we've talked about Wreck-It Ralph and Ready Player One. There's a lot of those two films in this film in terms of the themes and the style and some of the subject matter. There's also, you got Lego Movie in there, I think, in terms of the Chosen One kind of theme, and Truman Show as well, kind of figuring out your reality and what it all means. So yeah, a lot of elements from those films mixed in to create this new one. What did you think of Free Guy, Ross?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it because it's got the same similar kind of open world concept as like Ready Player One, but more like simplistic one at the same time. They're kind of in the same place. But yeah, I think the performances in Free Guy really give it kind of an extra edge. And Ryan Reynolds really good and Jodie Comer are both really good in it. Especially Ryan Reynolds, I think he plays really well at just kind of being like a clueless but happy character. He doesn't know what's going on, but he's enjoying it. He's loving the rides, and he's just kind of he's an NPC, but he's still like someone you can like connect with and enjoy watching. and I think they do really well at doing that with him. But and also building the way that he does develop this and why explaining why they're kind of he's come alive later on in the film. Because at first you're kind of confused with him as to why he's come to life and stuff. And it's like, yeah, he needed this trigger to like kind of send him off onto like a route of what they were originally trying to build. And what I really liked about the film as well was that obviously it's a film about a game, and it's got like how other people in real life, actual gamers like Jacksepticeye and whatnot, are watching it and like kind of reacting to it. And because that's what would actually happen. Everyone who watches this game then watches, like most people who play a game will watch like a YouTuber play the game or talk about the game as well. So I like how they had that in there as well, and how like the real world was reacting to it at the same time. So yeah, I really liked that. And I think it was kind of like, it was like if you just got Ready Player One and just made it like really happy. It was like that. I think, yeah, they did well at kind of making it nice and happy, and a feel-good movie. Probably like one of the best feel-good movies I've seen like recently as well. Well, apart from Another Round, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that his performance really helps. That he really does capture that like enthusiasm in every day that he's going to this bank and taking part in this routine, being a part of this game. Really feel that that fun vibe going with him. And I really like how kind of like we're talking about like what life means, what it means to like be alive. You see that in other films before, but like when he has that scene with his mate played by Lil Rel Howery or whatever, when he's like, oh, he's like, oh, I'm helping my buddy through a tough time, and that's real. It's like, oh yeah, this is life is not like, just because they're in a video game doesn't mean it's not real. They still have friendships, they still have relationships, they're still going through like emotions and stuff. So I thought that was like a cool, interesting idea to throw in there. It's like, doesn't go too deep with that theme, but to touch on it in a light way like that, I thought that was cool. And yeah, I like the way it's kind of like, it's a little cheesy and predictable in terms of the way it ends, but I do like the way they execute that in terms of this guy fancying Jodie Comer, and that kind of feelings are embodied in the Ryan Reynolds character, and that's what made the whole movie possible, because like he sees her face, and that, like you said, like that triggers something in him, and it changes like his perception of the world. It's like, oh no, I need to pursue this girl. He wasn't meant to see her, and that's once he sees her, it like animates these different feelings in him, and he goes on this adventure. This was weird to have like because like Ryan Reynolds is the main character in this film, but obviously he's a fucking video game character, so he's not going to end up with the girl living in the real world or anything. So it's funny to have your main character not get the girl despite them having chemistry, and like even he realizes he represents the love that someone in the real world has for the girl. Like he acknowledges that by the end. So I thought that was like a kind of an interesting spin on this kind of movie, where it would normally be, yeah, Ryan Reynolds just gets with the girl and that's it. But like you can't do that. So the way they do that is really fun. And I like the scene when she realizes, where it's a bit messed up, that I'm falling in love with a video game character. That one scene when he I'm gonna call he's called Steve in Stranger Things, isn't he? So that's what I'm gonna call him. Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him Steve. Steve comes over, and she's like, oh, but we really connect. And then she realizes like, oh, I'm an insane person. I'm falling in love with a video game character. Yeah, that's something you thought works. That kind of that weird, not a love triangle. It's like, yeah, she's falling in love with Ryan Reynolds as a video game character because, and vice versa, he's falling in love with her because he represents the feelings that Steve has for this girl. And when he was creating the game, he put all the feelings into that Ryan Reynolds character. I thought that was like a cool little thing to put in there.
Yeah, I really liked that, because what was it? It was like they built Ryan Reynolds' character. He built it so his story was to fall in love with Villanelle's character, Jodie Comer's character, and so how it played out was exactly how Steve wanted it, like programmed it to happen, and she like, yeah, she like and yeah, it's really nice kind of because at first you are kind of like, oh, she's falling in love with like a character because you know that he's an NPC, non-playable character, but you she doesn't, and yeah, then obviously Steve comes over and tells her, but yeah, that bit where she realizes she's like, no, 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 it's quite funny, and yeah, but yeah, I think it all played out quite nicely, like the realization of kind of Ryan Reynolds' character saying, yeah, I'm just programmed this way, because she's the one who told him that he's just programmed earlier, and then it ends with him telling her that, but at the same time, everyone, because they get like kind of Steve and Villanelle get their satisfying ending, and then Ryan Reynolds' character does as well, with kind of living happily in this world without people like killing them and stuff, and
he gets to reunite with his mate as well. He didn't realize he was still around. So yeah, that's a good way to like tie both ends.
Yeah, they're just kind of making them both become happy with their lives and what they have, and kind of obviously Steve and Villanelle will win like their game back and whatnot, and it kind of plays out. Yeah, as you say, it plays out in the way you would expect it to play out, but when you're watching, it's still satisfying. You know when you watch the film at the end, like Steve and Villanelle are going to get together and they're going to win. They're going to get their game back and whatnot. But it's still satisfying the way it plays out, and I think just kind of good performances all round as well. I like Taika Waititi. They're just likable people anyway. Like Taika Waititi and Ryan Reynolds is probably like two of the most likable actors anyway. But then putting their characters into a movie it's just likable. And I like Steve, I like Villanelle, I like all of them. And that them being likable as people in real life, but also as actors, kind of reflects in the film and makes it even more enjoyable, I think.
One element I didn't mention at the top in terms of what this film incorporates. I was talking about all the different movies it's inspired by and all the different, the things that it pulls from those films. But it's also like you've got the GTA element to it as well, in terms of the walking around in this open world, committing crimes and doing whatnot, completing all these different missions, leveling up and everything like that. That I'm not sure if that are like the action sequences. Like, I can't really, off the top of my head, I can't think of like a really memorable action sequence. Like that wasn't the like strength of the film for me. I don't know. When I'm trying to think of it now, like when they're going on these different missions and doing different things, that's not what stood out for me. Was there anything about that action that was like, yeah, that was memorable for you?
I like the scene where Ryan Reynolds and Villanelle like first broke into the building and they have to fight off those people on the motorbike and stuff. That's probably my most memorable action scene. But also at the end where Ryan Reynolds and there's the big Ryan Reynolds as well, where they're having a fight. I think that's really cool because they get out the lightsabers and there's loads of film references and stuff they like, and like movie game references and stuff they fight each other with. And also that bit's just really funny when you first see like a massive Ryan Reynolds like little head on like this massive guy. It just looks really funny at first as well. But
and some of the lines that he comes up, because obviously he's not, they haven't finished writing his lines, so he's like, catchphrase,
third phrase, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was cool.
I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna squish you, and insert third phrase.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really cool. That was a really creative joke to put in there. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that. And I think coming up with this film, they must have just like, someone must have just been like playing GTA or something and then just like killed one of the random people as you do and just been like, what if they had a story? What if they had, let's make a film about that. I can imagine that like coming around like in someone's mind. Like probably Ryan Reynolds because he produces the film as well. But yeah, this is quite funny. But no, yeah, I think the action sequences, it's not the strong bit of the film. The strong bit of the film is the relationship. This kind of, I think, this triangle between Ryan Reynolds, Jodie Comer, and Steve. I think that's the strong point in the film, and how it plays out in a satisfying way is because of these three characters kind of getting what they want and what they deserve. And yeah, I think Taika Waititi's he's really. I'll say again, he's just really funny. I think he does so well at playing this like evil villain who's a dick, but you can't help but like enjoy him being on the screen and like enjoying him as like an actor and a character. Yeah.
I don't know, you know. I don't like him that
Really?
much. I wanted to because obviously I love Taika Waititi. I've seen all his movies and they're all good. And when he does acting as well, it's like it's always good fun. But like in this, like yeah, he definitely had plenty of funny lines. I don't know, it just didn't always work for me. I don't know. He just didn't feel like an actual character. It's kind of just like, yeah, come in, drop some funny lines, be a bit of a dick. But I don't feel like he was an actual character who could be running this like massive video game that just takes over the whole world. I just never quite felt, I never believed him as an actual like person. He was just kind of there. He's like a prop to come in and say funny lines. It's kind of, I was like fighting myself as I was watching. It's like, oh no, it's Taika Waititi, so I need to like it. But there's just certain scenes like, this is kind of like, I've seen enough now. Yeah, that was kind of funny, but not always. It didn't always work. Yeah, that was the only performance I was a bit like iffy on. I thought Jodie Comer, I thought she was really good. So you enjoy her. I think this is her, maybe not her first film, but definitely her first like starring role in a movie. Obviously, she's become famous from Killing Eve. I'm guessing you watched that because you've been calling her Villanelle. So what do you make of Jodie Comer translating from a TV to the big screen?
I haven't really seen Killing Eve. It's just because I watch Gogglebox and I watch it on there sometimes. Verity watches it as well. So it's just like on, and I've like seen it, and that's why I call it Villanelle. But yeah, I think she's won like I'm pretty sure she's won like BAFTAs and stuff for her performance as Villanelle. She's always like when people talk about Killing Eve, people always talk about how good she is in it as like Villanelle. And I think her like kind of coming over to do like the big screen and doing like a movie performance, it's a completely different thing. It's like fleshing out. You can't flesh out a character in like an hour and a half, 2 hours in the same way you do in like 4 seasons. Do you know what I mean? She kind of she's so good at accents as well. I think I saw someone mention that she can do like 10 different accents. She can speak in, yeah. She can speak in the languages she does accents in as well, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, yeah, it's crazy, and she's so good at doing that because there's when she's a character, she's like Australian, I think, or something, and I think he's like Ryan Reynolds' character mentions that, and then she speaks in like a kind of Southern British accent later on, and she does it really well, and she just I really like that performance. That's probably the stand-up performance from the film. I mean, we've seen like Joe Keery in Stranger Things, and he's good in that, and Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool and whatnot. Probably like their main like highlights as actors. But Jodie Comer probably had the biggest game like part to play in this film in terms of like being emotional and being like a fleshed out character. And I think they probably couldn't have got a better actress to do that because she does do it really well. And yeah, I really like her in this film.
Yeah, she just felt like immediately just like a movie star. Like when she's just walking across the screen, it's like, yeah, you have like a presence right now. You're not like struggling to capture people's attention. Don't you think she looks really young? I think she's like 27 or 28. She's a really young face. I don't know, especially when she just had like in the real world, like just her normal like blonde hair or whatever. Not when she's wearing the glasses. She's just really young. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. She looks like she'll be like our age.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a baby face.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Some of the stuff, yeah. Some of the stuff that like, yeah, obviously Taika Waititi, I didn't always love it, but I think but kind of my biggest thing was, I think you mentioned the like bit with the Captain America shield and like the lightsaber stuff. I hated that. I don't know, really? when it happened, it was just like because obviously we talked about Space Jam a bit at the start of the last episode, but how it's just like, yeah, you mentioned it as well, like Warner Brothers just throwing all the shit that they own onto the screen. That bit was like like it was just like, okay, it was kind of like, oh, here we go, it's time for Disney to flex their IP here. And I don't know, I find it to be a bit cringy as it's happening. It's like I just didn't need that, and the music plays as well. So I just didn't really need this in this film. Like this film's meant to like celebrate like, I don't know, like individuality, and anyone can be like the hero because he's just like a normal guy, a normal NPC. But it's just, but then you still just got to flex all the shit that you own. What does Disney do? So yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of that bit. I don't know. Did you not feel?
I know what you mean.
It's just, yeah, it was just a bit. That was just a bit tacky. I just didn't. It didn't feel like it belonged in this film. Like, yeah, it wasn't a natural place.
At first when I saw it, I was like, oh, cool, lightsaber. And I thought like when Captain America, when Chris Evans did pop up on the screen, I laughed at it. But like it was funny and like it was cool at the time. But then I think when you do reflect on it, it is just like another flex. But I think at the time I did find it funny, like especially the Captain America bit. I did laugh, and that's what they want you to do. I think maybe looking deeper into it, it's like it's meant to be like an indie game that these people created for like fun, but maybe it's like Taika Waititi's because he's this big kind of corporation taking over this like indie game. Maybe he's put that in there and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of it's a weird thing to like think about because I didn't think about it deeply until now. So yeah, do you know what I mean? It's yeah.
Even the Chris Evans cameo went by really fast. I wasn't actually even sure it was him at first. I was like, oh, did this get? I feel like it was only like a second long, so it could have just been some guy with a beard, some white guy with a beard. He kind of looks like Chris Evans. I was like, but obviously it had to be, otherwise the joke would be a bit dead. He just voices some guy kind of looks like him. But yeah, it's not like a massive thing. It's just at the time I was like, oh, just like it was just like sigh. Do we need this now? I think even like a lot of the last half hour felt a bit messy. I think like that bit when all the CPCs kind of rally around him. I'm not really sure why. Why were they in that moment convinced to like come away, like him to be like an awakening and like come away from like what they were programmed to do? I felt like it just came out of nowhere. I don't know. Maybe there's an explanation I missed. I don't know.
The whole thing was that they don't like changing their schedule because that's what they're programmed to do. But somehow he managed to change all their schedules to all like rally around him. And it's like, I don't know how that kind of worked. Or,
that was a bit.
They obviously did that off screen on purpose. So yeah.
Oh yeah, the earlier scene with when when he has to order a different coffee. He wants a cappuccino instead, and she's just like baffled. It's like, what? I only know how to make 2 cream and 2 sugars or whatever it is. Yeah. So you have that when like because that just shows you how they're all in their defined roles, and the police officer's looking at him like, what's going on? But then at the end, they're kind of like, oh no, we can just break that and we can do what we need to do. So yeah, that was a bit messy towards the end there. But overall, this is just a fun movie. It's not too long. Maybe you could like shave off like 10 minutes, maybe. It's no Ready Player One. Yeah. But final thoughts on Free Guy, Ross. Would you recommend this to Matty and Mason?
I'll definitely recommend it to Matty. He'd like this. I think Mason would enjoy it as well, but it's definitely a Matty film, I think, as well. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think they get, let's say for the most part, the kind of references and stuff are spot on, and the performances are really good, which you don't often see in these kind of like in these kind of films. Like Ready Player One, the performances aren't like stand out, but this is kind of, it's a similar concept of like an open world, but with like a more intimate performances and kind of intimate characters. It's like mixing together Wreck-It Ralph and Ready Player One, I guess, and it plays off nicely. I really like it.
Yeah, I think that'll be the kind of biggest takeaways is how it just it takes like stuff from a lot of other films and GTA, puts it all together and makes it into a fun film that's got some flaws, but overall it's an enjoyable experience in the cinema. Okay, that's Free Guy. Not bad. What do I do now? Do I say what's next week? I think I do. I do say what's next week. But it's not next week, it's next episode. And that's that inspirational teachers. That's the head-to-head that I came up with. I think it was Dead Poet Society and Mr. Holland's Opus. Basically did that because I watched Mr. Holland's Opus a few weeks ago, and I was like, I had a lot of thoughts about it. And I was like, oh, might as well just.
I haven't seen either of them before.
Yeah, you ever seen Dead Poet Society?
No.
Oh, that's a proper classic. Robin Williams. Yeah. Oh, Captain.
I watch Candyman though.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. Do you know that phrase?
No.
That's Dead Poet Society. Anyway, that'll be good. Inspirational teachers head to head, and yeah, main review Candyman, which is
like that.
Yeah, Jordan Peele produced Candyman. I'm not sure who's directing that, but yeah, that should be a good one. Okay, so we're at Corona Cinema on Instagram, at Leon Waite 98 on Twitter, Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, Stitcher, Podbean. Oh yeah, I usually say what's next after that. That's funny. I've done it before now, so can't do that. Messed it up, ruined it. You're ruining it. You're ruining it. Okay. Dead Poet Society, Mr. Holland's Opus, Candyman. Next episode. Until then, go well.
Cheers.